Hello traders, welcome back to another live trading video. If you're new to my channel and you're not familiar with these videos, these are real trades, live, taken as they are, no forward knowledge. I don't know if this trade is going to be profitable or not. And if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll be able to see the full trade, like I said, start to finish, without any forward knowledge. And I find that to be advantageous, probably to the viewers and to myself watching them back. I find it to be very, very helpful. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about this trade that I just took on the long side here with $CAD, USDCAD. You can see the symbol. I'm logged into my broker here and away we go. So I just jumped in here. You can see I'm down a whole $7.95. Maybe I should close it before it goes down, hit my stop loss. We don't know, right? Because again, like I said, this is live trading and I'm not afraid to look dumb. I've done it plenty of times on YouTube. I'll keep doing it.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
So with that said, what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to explain the trade, I'm going to explain the breakdown, and we will basically try and watch how this thing unfolds. So let me go ahead and jump into the entry. So from a technical analysis perspective, let's start real quick on the daily chart. So real quick, daily chart looks a little messy. There we go. CAD is trending up. Okay, we look at the daily chart here. You got this beautiful kind of channel to the upside. Things are looking pretty solid. We've just come back to sort of fair value on this regression line. But generally speaking, we are in a strong upward trend. And as price is pulling back today, we see on the 4-hour chart a little bit, you've got a little bit of a dip coming in here. And in the context of a pretty, like I said, nicely moving upward pair, you've got your 3 moving averages lined up. And we recently had this impulsive move, right? You can see here is a swing low to a swing high. And that's where I've drawn my fib levels. So my fib levels, I've drawn from low to high, and I am a trend trader and looking for pullback plays. So that's given me these 3 levels here, which we can head down to the 1-hour chart and see a little bit better. So we'll take a look at the 1-hour view. And on the 1-hour view, let's get those moving averages off and let's take a look at this. So again, going from swing low to swing high, we've gotten these 3 levels, the 38.2, the 50%, and the 61.8. Now the 50% level stuck out to me nicely because at that level, we do have some key support. And again, this is just walking you guys through all the different technical things that I kind of liked about this trade and why I decided to pick up a long position. So again, nice little retest of support, nice little 50% retracement level, as you can see on the line there. And of course, my stop loss is in place as well. So where's the stop loss? The stop loss here initially will be underneath support. So again, I've got structure here to the left. I've seen this area be significant historically, so I'm going to add that to my consideration when placing a stop loss. And I've got a good bit of distance here in case price wants to wiggle around and keep me in. Hopefully, I can still possibly make money on the trade. Now, if price does break through this level, if it breaks through the left structure, my goal is to stop out, right? My goal in that, I say that, you know, just straight up, right? My goal is to, if this thing wants to break out, my goal in that case would be to stop out with as minimal damage. And that is why I have risked just 35 pips here to the downside. So if price comes crashing down, my goal would hopefully just be get out of there as soon as possible. Now, if price starts rallying, that would be a great scenario, right? And you might ask, well, Nick, where's your take profit on the trade? And the answer to that would be, I don't have one. In fact, my goal, if you've been watching my videos for a while, then you know this already, but if you're newer to them, my goal is to actually just trail stops and not to take profit specifically. So yeah, sure, maybe I could just take profit here, and there are some times where that looks really great. There are other times where I take a trade and I'm able to trail a stop and the price just keeps going and going and going, and I'm able to trail for a lot longer. Will that be this trade? I don't know. Probably not, honestly. It's very few of my trades, but it's possible, and that is why I trail stops. It's the possibility of that beautiful trend and catching it for that big swing that makes all the difference in my trading, and it is how I make my money when it comes to trades. I make most of my money from very few trades, and you'd be surprised how many successful traders are actually doing that. They use very, reasonable risk management. So in this case, again, my risk is managed. If price comes down here, I'm risking a small portion of the account. It's about $100 risk. So worst case, price comes down, I lose $100. That's not that bad. Best case, I could make, upwards of 1,000, right? Who knows, right? Just depends how the trade plays out. Make 100, 200, 300, and I'll just be looking to trail stops accordingly. So with that said, what I'll do, there's the trade explanation in terms of technicals. One more thing I want to add before we go ahead and pause the video is here is something for you to pay attention to. This is the trade alert that I just sent out to members inside of our private VIP Discord community. If you're not already in the Discord and you would like access to it, all you got to do is check the link down below in the description. It's the very first thing, but check this out for a second. So I basically just said, I just took a small buy position on $CAD as price dips back to support. We already talked about the technicals, so I won't bore with you guys that same concept, but fundamentals we haven't talked about. Okay, so the Omicron variant, which is the latest fear in the market, who knows, by the time you see this, things might have completely cooled down or gotten much worse. Again, I don't know the future, and you're listening to past Nick right now. Anyways, my idea is that, okay, I think it's possible that fear could rise and cause further disinterest in the oil market. Why does that matter, and why would the oil market possibly be threatened? Well, the idea being, okay, well, if markets' concern around the variant does tend to increase, if it does keep going, then that could cause a slowdown in just demand consumer-wise. As people are doing less and traveling less and lockdowns and things like that, might create less demand for oil. Less demand for oil means possibly the Canadian dollar could weaken, as their high exposured economy would probably suffer. So that's the idea. Again, I'm generally bullish on the dollar as well, as I have been for several months now. And so just betting on the dollar as I have been with the Fed walking towards monetary policy tightening. We'll see if that continues. It might be threatened by this whole situation, but either ways, that is my trade setup. Dropped the entry, the stop loss, etc. So now what I'll do is I will pause the video and we will come back once things have gotten moving a little bit more on $CAD. All right, guys, quick little update here on USDCAD. So check this out, you guys. So my stop loss, if you remember, was just underneath this level here. You can go back in the video and see where it was. I've just moved my stop loss to break even here, but I just wanted to show you this real quick. So price came flying down, just barely missed my stop loss.
You were this close.
And then did a huge 180 and just started flying to the upside, which is awesome. It's definitely a good spot to be in. And at this point, like I said, I have now moved my stop loss to break even and just sent out the alert to members that I have done so. So they're actually, I want to show you this just because I thought this was kind of crazy. So I actually took a picture and just shared it. There's where my stop loss was. So price came right down there and just missed it by a little bit before jumping back on up, and now giving me enough of a profit there to go ahead and lock in that trade to break even. So in a good spot from here. Now it is just a question of whether or not this market wants to continue in my direction, and good spot to be in. Whenever I can take that risk off the table, I will usually choose to do so. So with that said, what I'll do is I'll just pause until things develop further. If they keep moving, if we see a little bit more of a push to the upside, a break of some structure here, I will probably look to try and move stop loss up into profit. So just a quick little update there, but looking to see if we can get above a structure like 1.28 really is the key zone. If we can get above there, I'll probably look to trail this stop a little bit more, and if we can get past the previous high, then we'll really be talking about some possible gains there. So of course, not going to jump the gun, just going to give it some time, and we'll see how it goes from here. All right, guys, and $CAD is making a move here. $195 up on the trade right now. You can see there on the broker, I've got a little bit better than a 2-to-1, or actually just under a 2-to-1 right now on the initial trade. Meaning, what I mean by that is my initial risk was about $100. So if I'm at $200, my risk here is just about 2 times a 2R right now. Now, if this thing closes though, and it tags me out here, that could be less than a 2R. So let me go ahead and clarify what I've done on the trade. So remember, I ended up taking the trade right here. So there was the entry. Price did end up going against me, now popped in my favor, and now at this point broke out of that level that I just talked about in the previous clip. So once we were able to break through that level just a few minutes ago, I decided to, and look at that thing go, it's really moving today, decided decided to go ahead and move that stop loss up, locking in, I believe, about $100 on the trade. So it's nothing crazy. We're just going slow and steady, small lots, everything, just keeping it under control. But the idea here is just to let this thing continue to run if it wants to run. And if price does break back down, if we see a full-blown reversal by the end of the day, then of course I will take my profits and be happy with them, and maybe look for another opportunity to jump back into the market at some point soon. So definitely in a good spot with this. Happy to have been able to initially move that stop to break even, but now even to have profit on the table. So what that means is that at this point, the trade is no longer a question of whether or not I will make money, but rather how much the market wants to give me on this trade. And in this case, that's the best scenario possible in my opinion. Now, I want to add one more thing. We are coming into, depending on how you draw this level of structure, we have some resistance up ahead that we should probably pay attention to in this trade. Now, this is a little bit messy. I understand this is a little bit it's not the cleanest price action ever, but again, I still liked this level a lot and I was willing to take this trade. But I will say this, generally speaking, we could probably just combine this into one zone, and this zone is the level of resistance that I'd like to see price overcome before moving my stop loss further. So to clarify, if price is able to break through this level, then sure, I'll move this stop loss more. I'll look to try to lock in more on the trade. Now, if it struggles to get past there and breaks back down, no problem. That's why I've got the stop loss there. The name of the game for me when trading is not to try and predict exactly what's going to happen every time, but rather to basically adapt and react to what the market actually does. So if markets do react negatively to this level, if we see sellers come in heavy, which we're seeing a little bit of rejection, we'll see if there's follow through, then I will stop out here. If price breaks through, just to reiterate, I will look to trail stops further. So with that said, I just alerted this update to members. So from now, all we got to do is wait. So I'll pause the video, let things roll a little bit further, and we'll come back with an update soon. All right, guys, and we are all out of USDCAD. I'm actually filming this a little bit late. Unfortunately, I gotta come clean a little bit on what happened.
All right, let's hear it.
So I ended up taking that buy trade that you guys saw earlier on in the video, which did end up holding very nicely. You can see there's the point where I almost got stopped out for a loss. Price went massively in the nice direction that we wanted and pulled back just enough, you guys, just barely enough to tap me out of the trade before rallying back up. And, you know, I'm not going to complain because here we are. We're up a total of about $100. So I'm not going to complain. Great trade. And honestly, considering that I almost got stopped out, I'm just happy that this trade was positive at all. But I will say that sometimes this happens and it's very easy for newer traders, and you can hear me talking about it right now, even for experienced traders, to get a little bit frustrated or annoyed by situations like this where you're like, wow, I was very much right, and there was a lot more profit to be had, but I got stopped out of the trade. And unfortunately, no matter how long I've been trading, I've, you know, practiced many concepts, I've back tested, you know, 1,000 different ideas and ways to trail stops. And unfortunately, what I find is no matter what you do, there are just a percentage of your trades that are going to do something like this, where they just disappoint you just enough, tap you out, and then they go without you. And I'm not saying this like, you know, I'm not saying this to be bitter or to complain or anything like this. I'm just trying to give you guys some feedback or some thoughts that I'm having as a trader, like as it's really happening to me. This is a little bit tough to watch, right? The trade walks away from you, and say what you'd like, but I think that there's always a level of a little bit of frustration when this happens. The difference is letting it affect you or not, to the point that it causes you to make improper actions. I'm not going to go chase. I'm not going to go jump into a trade just because I missed out here. I took profit. I made money on the trade, and that is all that I am going to say about it. I'm happy with how the trade played out because I was able to make some money and I stuck to the rules, even if that means sometimes things don't turn out the exact way I'd like them. Hey, that's just life for you, right? Not everything comes as you would like it to sometimes. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoy these transparent videos, again, not the most glorious win I've ever taken on my channel, but if you enjoy these videos and you made it to the end, do me a favor, hit that like button, and also let me know down below in the comment section. Just let me know that you made it to the end of the video. It means the world to me, just because I take so much time to make these videos, and then we have an editor work really hard to make these videos for you. If you enjoyed them, let us know down below in the comments and in the like button. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Trade safe, and we will see you next time. What's up guys? Thanks for watching today's video. There are more videos available on our channel here and here, so go ahead and click into that for some more free trading content. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you back next time.